Destination Medicine is a joint project of the regional training hubs. This podcast series brings you medical students' accounts of their experience in applying to study medicine. Welcome to Destination Medicine. I'm Peter Letts. Senuri Pinto is a veritable dynamo, lighting up the world of regional and remote medicine. And her journey has been a remarkable one. Hailing herself from the Northern Territory, she's opted to keep the outback as her home base, working in some of the most fascinating, beautiful and challenging environments Australia has to offer. Senuri is driven to service, both to her often disadvantaged patients, but also to her fellow medical students. Senuri Pinto starts by explaining her initial motivations to study medicine to Nicole Goodman.
So I wanted to be a doctor since I was in primary school. I have always loved science and working with people, and so I knew from a young age that I wanted to pursue a career in medicine. As I went through my schooling years, my passion grew after learning more about health and just working with people and helping people. So by the time I was in year 12, I definitely knew that I wanted to pursue medicine after high school.
Did you tell anyone, like school teachers or friends, about your goal to become a doctor, and what was their reaction?
Yeah, so I told some of my friends who were very supportive, same with my family. They were very keen for me to pursue medicine, especially being the first person in my family to go into medicine. And I also told my high school teachers, and they were very supportive of my decision. So we had careers advisors who helped me with my university applications, especially the written applications for medicine in year 12.
Tell us about growing up in the Northern Territory and how that influenced your choice to study medicine as well.
I love the NT and what it has to offer. Just growing up, NT has been very supportive of everything I've done, and I love how multicultural it is and everyone's very friendly, and we have a lot of big focus on rural generalism and Aboriginal health. So I knew that if I get into medicine, one of my first choices was studying at Flinders Northern Territory Medical Program.
What are some of the highlights, do you think, so far on your journey as a medical student?
I think being on placements have been the best. I just loved being able to apply what I learned in my preclinical years on the wards. So just being part of a team, working with other doctors and other health professionals, and just helping patients through their hospital journey has been really amazing. For example, I'm currently on obstetrics and gynecology, and I loved following the patient's birthing journey from the minute they come into the hospital and going through that labour process until they deliver their baby, and then start, being a mum and just looking after their kid. So it's been really wonderful to just be helping my patients with their hospital journey.
If we go back to the beginning, how many universities did you actually apply to, and do you have any tips about the application or selection process for those people that are wanting to apply?
Yeah, so I came through the undergraduate pathway after year 12. So I applied for all the states, and then I got in interviews and I went to those interviews, and then I got a few offers from universities across the state, but I ended up choosing to stay in NT because my family's from here and I have a lot of support system. In terms of the application process, I would say start your applications early, especially when there's written components, and also talk to students who have done those applications processes before you and know what sort of things the interviewers are looking for. I would also say talk to your careers counsellors and careers advisors. They would be able to help you with your application, especially written ones, give you some tips and tricks on how to modify it, which I found really useful. And then for interviews, I think, again, talking to students who have gone through it and maybe running some practice scenarios, depending on what type of interview it is, would be also quite beneficial.
Senuri, there are a lot of different study techniques, as I'm sure you know. How did you find the right one for you?
Yeah, so that actually took some time. So in my first year of university, I tried a variety of study techniques and then I found the ones that best suited me. However, in saying that, for like different units, my study techniques might differ. So for example, if a unit is more like exam heavy, then my study techniques would be a lot more different than a unit that has assignments, where then I have to be a lot more organized and like make a draft and like write the assignment and then like recheck everything. So it usually changed a little bit, but then now I'm in my final year of uni, I think I've developed study techniques that best suit me to approach those exam style assessments or like written type of assessments.
Now, you've travelled to many parts of the Northern Territory for your clinical rotations. If not for that reason, do you think you would have gone out to those places?
Probably not, just because I didn't really know a lot about the remote areas in the NT until I got into medicine. And then in my first year of medicine, they gave us like lectures on what sort of things the remote areas in the NT offered, especially for a student. So that really motivated me to like go into those places, and every place I've been to so far has been so amazing and I've loved it. TV Islands is probably one of my like favorite placements that I got to be part of, and I got to see lots of interesting medicine and be a lot more hands-on with the patient care. And I also got to work with not just doctors, but Aboriginal health practitioners and other nurses and visiting specialists to help my patients in remote communities.
Was there anything else in particular about the Tiwi Islands and that experience that you can tell us about?
I was a bit sad to see some of those disadvantages and inequities experienced by the remote populations, especially Aboriginal patients, compared to like the more metropolitan medicine. But it's so awesome to see how the health professionals use those limited resources to still provide the best healthcare possible to patients in communities.
That is amazing. How are you finding your current rotation in Alice Springs?
Yeah, Alice Springs has been really great. And the hospital has been so awesome. I've got to be involved in a lot of things like help with C-sections, deliveries, and other minor procedures like IUD insertion. So it's been very good as a rotation. And then Alice Springs as a city as well has been also really fun. There's so much outdoor things to do. We have like mountains as our backyards. So I can always have like my coffee just by the mountains, which has been like a really amazing experience.
That is awesome. That's so good. Now, you're busy not only with the demands of studying medicine, but you're also involved in a number of associations and programs, and I just want to touch on a few of them. For example, you're currently organising the Australian Medical Student Association's Rural Health Summit. Tell us a bit about the summit.
Yeah, so this is actually a very special event for me because the Rural Health Summit is the first national medical student event to be held in the Northern Territory. So currently we've been working on it quite hard to make a really good program for students. So it'll be a 4-day summit held from the 31st of August to the 3rd of September. We'll have lots of amazing speakers from across the NT, cultural activities, Rural Rescue Challenge, and social events to promote NT. So our theme is to showcase NT as the frontiers of rural and remote health. And there have been students who've never been to the NT, so they'll be coming from like different states. So I just want to promote to them how amazing NT can be and how great of a experience and privilege it would be to work as a doctor in the NT.
Amazing. And you've touched on this already, but you are also involved with the Student Association for Rural and Remote Health, or STAR. What's the role of the organisation and how are you involved?
Yeah, so I used to be the STAR president 2 years ago, and this is the main rural and remote health student organisation for all health students across the NT. So we've conducted a variety of events for students like clinical skills nights and social events like sunset cruises. And one of the main events that I was quite proud to organise was the Health Ball, which raised $7,000 towards the Purple House, which is an Aboriginal owned and run organisation that provides dialysis to the most remote parts of the NT. So being able to raise money towards such an amazing organisation was a privilege to me. And other things we do as part of STAR is promoting studying in the NT for high school students. So I got to travel to a variety of different high schools within the NT and conduct high school health visits through different health stations to promote NT school students to stay in the NT and pursue a career in health.
That is so good. That is wonderful. And finally, you're also involved in tutoring and mentoring other students. I don't know where you find your time to do everything. What does doing this type of support and outreach mean to you?
Yeah, so since I've been in my second year of uni, I have been doing tutoring support for first year students through Charles Darwin University, especially First Nations students. So being part of that has been quite good because I get to help students who are starting their university journey and help them develop those necessary skills as a first year student to excel throughout their degree. And it's also very good revision for me because I help them with anatomy and physiology or chemistry. So it helps me revise the content I've learned as well. And it's wonderful to see students starting as a first year and getting really good grades and progressing through their health careers. So helping them just achieve that has been a very wonderful experience. For anyone who ever wants to consider a career in medicine, especially in the NT, I would say I highly recommend it. It's a wonderful opportunity to experience as a student and hopefully as a doctor as well. You get to help so many disadvantaged people and it's such a rewarding career.
Senuri Pinto, final year medical student at Flinders University, Northern Territory, now based at Alice Springs Hospital. This is Destination Medicine. Thanks for listening. Regional training hubs are supported by funding from the Australian Government under the Rural Health Multidisciplinary Training Program.